there, Dharmika here. So in this video, I will be talking about protecting ourselves from narcissistic devaluation through having a mindset that our actions is a reflection of who we are, and how to protect ourselves, how to repel the narcissist by giving them a taste of their own medicine. Before I start the video, here's my story. About a year ago, I dated a narc, and over time I realized that the relationship was not healthy. I realized that I was feeling bad, and I started discovering informations that didn't add up. So I realized that there was pathological lying. I realized that there was a lot of manipulation, a lot of mind games. And then I left the person, and then I made up with the person because I felt like I was imagining things, or I was blowing things up, or that I was or that I was or I felt like I could salvage the relationship. And there was a lot of love bombing as well, so I kind of bought it. And narcissists are very convincing, as we know. So there was a lot of made up makeup and breakup, and I was trapped in that cycle for about 4 rounds before I managed to completely break the cycle and went no contact. But it was a very long process for me, and it was torture to be in that cycle. So I was very glad that I broke that cycle, but then immediately after breaking that cycle, I lose my friends, I lose my teachers, I lose trust in the people that I love, and I started seeing narcissists everywhere. And everywhere I go, I was attacked, and the attacks were quite insane, to be honest. Sometimes they would attack blatantly in plain sight. They would actively plot against me right in front of my face, and they would not even bother to cover it up. And sometimes they would team up and attack me in swarms. So it was quite a lot to bear, and I couldn't trust anyone, and I felt like my teachers and friends even were turned against me, or that they weren't even my friends to begin with. So it was like a lot to bear, and the only salvation that I was completely alone, so I turned online for salvation. So the only help that I could look for was online content, such as online articles and videos on psychotherapy, and eventually I stumbled on narcissism, and I stumbled onto some very helpful YouTube channels, namely the Surviving Narcissism, in Inner Integration, Melanie Tonya Evans, and Stephanie Lynn Coaching. So these YouTubers, they really helped me realize and understand what narcissism is all about, and they help me cope with and recover from my narcissistic injury, and they also help me transcend and rise above their malicious behavior. So these three things are so important. We need a strong knowledge of what narcissism is. We need a strong knowledge of the behavior, of how to cope with our injury, how to recover from it, and how to deal with their behavior in the future. So these three are like really important for me, and it really gave me a sense of power. I really felt powerful when I have the knowledge that, when I know the truth, when I saw the truth that the narcissist has ill will, that they have evil intent, that they mean harm to me, that they are the parasite and I'm the host for them. So it really gave me a lot of power to have this insight, and that is why I've created this channel, to dedicate myself to help people like yourselves to defend yourselves from narcissistic abuse, to stay free from narcissistic abuse, and to regain your inner peace and wisdom. A very important mindset to have when we are caught up with a narcissist is that our actions reflect our inner being. So the narcissist's violent, wild, malicious behavior, their inappropriate behavior, their behavior that breaks your boundaries, their boundaryless behavior, is a reflection of their unclean soul, is a reflection that they have no self-control, that they are not capable of processing their emotions, that they have to unload their misery on others, that they have an unhealthy mind. So that is a reflection of who they are. And the empath or the person who isn't a narcissist, they would usually, if they have a bad day or they feel depressed or they are oppressed by someone, or if they are undergoing issues in their lives, if they face problems in their lives, they would usually go and seek help from online resources, or they would contemplate and try to solve the problem for themselves, try to look for the root of the problem and try to solve it for themselves, or they would go for professional advice, or they would read self-help books or watch self-help videos, or even in the worst case scenario, a good person, will snap at someone but feel remorse after and will try to make up for it, will apologize and try to make up for it. So that is a reflection of who we are, we the empaths, the good people. That is a reflection of our emotional intelligence, of our clean soul, of our healthy self-esteem. And we have to recognize that, we have to understand that we are not a reflection of the narcissist's actions. So this understanding, it only works when we have an awareness of the narcissist's insane behavior. And this awareness comes when we finally stop ruminating, when we finally stop focusing on our reactions when we were interacting with the narcissist. And when we finally question ourselves, how the interaction started, why we reacted in a way that we normally wouldn't, and what really happened throughout the entire interaction. So this mindset works really well in the devalue stage, when the narcissist is trying to devalue you. So that happens after the love bombing phase, which is the phase where they try to make you think that they have everything looked out for you, that they care for you, where they assume false kindness, false empathy, false friendship, and give you all the validation and approval that you want in almost an excessive, overindulgent kind of way. So that is after the love bombing phase. After that, they will devalue you, whether or not you accept the love bombing, whether or not it worked, whether or not they managed to get you to believe that they are your friend. They will proceed to the devalue stage. So this is when they will try to pollute your mind. They will try to manipulate your belief system, brainwash you into thinking that you are not good enough, into thinking that you cannot be trusted, that you are a bad person, that you're violent, crazy, shameful, inappropriate, that you're a dirty, unclean soul. So they do this, they devalue us by the three common steps. The first step is to provoke us. They will try to get a reaction from us by provoking us, by stepping down on us, by trying to make us feel small, by tearing us down, by breaking our boundaries, by playing with our minds, playing with our fears, our anxieties, our insecurities. And the second step is to be constantly watchful and alert on our every reaction by observing our facial expressions, our body gestures, our tone of voice, how we walk, how we talk, everything. So they are constantly aware of our every reaction, so that they can predict our future response, whether whether we are going to fight against them, whether we're going to stand up for ourselves, or whether we're going to feel bad for doing nothing, for letting them break our boundaries, or whether we have a need for validation and we feel a sense of neediness. They are going to try and predict this, and then they are going in for the strike, which is the third step. The strike is to gaslight us, to gaslight when we are not expecting it, to gaslight us when we are unconscious from our own anger, fear, neediness, or shame. And this gives them a huge sense of power, because we are completely absorbed in our emotions and we are not aware of what's about to happen, whereas they have complete awareness of what's going to happen, which is the devaluing and the shaming and the destruction of our soul, basically. So they will gaslight, they will wear the mask of innocence, and then they will either occupy the moral high ground or they will assume the victim character. If they occupy the moral high ground, they will assume this authoritative figure, this high moral character, and they will shame us, they will make us believe through their body gestures, facial expressions, and tone of voice to make us believe that we are not worthy of dignity, that we are not worthy of self-respect, to make everyone, including ourselves, believe that we are shameful, that we are inappropriate, that we are dirty, unclean souls. So they will do that, or they will assume the victim character. They will act the part of a victim and make everyone, including ourselves, believe that we are the aggressive, violent, abusive one, that we are the bully, that we are the oppressor. So after being devalued by the narcissist, we are going to feel bad, and the reflection technique allows us to extract ourselves from the psychological prison that the narcissist has created for us. It sets us free from the belief that we are inherently not deserving of self-respect, that we are unworthy of our own dignity, that we are violent, crazy, unstable beings, that we are dirty, filthy, unclean, shameful souls. So to free ourselves from this belief, we need to look at our response when we were dealing with the narcissist in a different light. We need to recognize that we had the intention to solve a dispute, to fight for ourselves, or that we had a trusting nature. We have a nature to look for the humanity in everyone. We have a belief that everyone, an innate belief that everyone deserves respect and dignity. So that is a reflection of our values. It shows that we are decent, caring, honorable, dignified individuals. And the fact that the narcissist wants to take advantage of that, take advantage of our virtues, our values, our kindness and trust in them, that is a reflection of their broken, evil, nasty souls. So it's also important to protect ourselves from any narcissist in the future. And to do that, we need to have the wisdom to go no response the next time we interact with a narcissist, or the next time we face a narcissist, to walk away calmly, to leave the conversation, to remove all emotional involvement, and to cut off all connections. So we need to understand that it is unwise to be kind and offer our hearts to corrupt souls, to cast pearl before swine, to try and help people who truly believe that they can only be better if they tear others apart, put them down, annihilate their dignity and integrity, and befoul their image. Another thing I want to talk about is to teach the narcissist a lesson and give them a taste of their own medicine. Now, it's very important to know that this can only be done post-recovery, after we have recovered our narcissistic injury and wounds. And this has to be done with full consciousness and alertness, when we're not blinded by our emotions, whether it's anger or fear or anything. And it has to be only done as a means of self-defense. And we have to be careful not to do this when we are facing malignant narcissists, because they are very experienced at creating evil and causing harm to others. So when we face this malignant narcissist, the only way to protect ourselves is to leave them and go no contact. If it is safe to do so, we do need to teach them a lesson whenever they cross the line, so that they know that there are consequences to their actions. For example, if they affect our work life or our sleep pattern, if the bullying is constant, if they constantly take things away from you without your consent, then you do need to stand up for yourself and try to attack them and show them that you can be a threat as well whenever you need to, so that we can establish a strong boundary with the narcissist. This is because the narcissist's view of life is very primitive and barbaric, almost like an animal, and we do not use words or reason when we are dealing with an animal. We have to assert our dominance when we are with animals. So the way they truly believe that in every relationship, they are either the ones in power, in control, or the ones without power, without control. So in every relationship that they have, they will always seek to be the alpha, because otherwise they will feel like they are powerless. They would feel completely useless otherwise. So they also have no ability to comprehend that two people in a relationship are able to mutually respect each other, are able to have their own power and thrive together without having to abuse or control the other person. They have no ability to comprehend that. When we're giving them a taste of their own medicine, we need to have two very important attitudes. This attitude will give us the full awareness, alertness, and wit so that we are not easily infected by their psychological disease or controlled by their mind games. So one of these attitude is silent confidence. And this silent confidence is developed from having an understanding, having a strong belief that we are higher sentient beings with higher emotional intelligence, that we are an evolved species, that we are more mature than the narcissist. And we also need to recognize that the narcissist is a low-life creature, that they are bottom feeders, that they waste their life trying to cause harm to other people, that they try to take away the meaning and purpose from the lives of others rather than to find their own, that they are buzzing flies, filthy, sickening roaches, they are pests, and they are active, they have an unquenchable need to create chaos in other people's lives, and they constantly hold others responsible for their pain and to carry their pain and misery. So they are parasites, and we need to separate from them and recognize that we are higher beings. And by just doing so, we allowed ourselves this wealth of power and confidence and awaken ourselves to our superiority to the narcissist. The second important attitude to have is to be playful when we are teaching the narcissist a lesson. When we are playful, it allows us to be more creative, more spontaneous and witful, and it also removes our fears and anxieties because we take things less seriously. So I will now talk about the 3 ways that you can mess with a narcissist. That is to love bomb them, to neglect them, and to confuse them. So one way that you can love bomb them is to wear a false mask, wear a false smile to pretend nice to them, to act like you care about their lives in a very intense way, so that you are showing them that you're putting on this false front but subtly, and you're using their love bombing ways against them. It will drive them crazy that you're showing them that you know about their love bombing ways and are using it against them. Another way is to flatter them and then ignore them before they have a chance to even respond. You can also change the subject before you finish the compliment, and make sure you give the new topic an overpowering, inflated sense of significance so that they will feel small. Another tactic is to neglect them, and we can do this by simply cutting them off mid-sentence, by ignoring them, pretending that we weren't listening to them. For example, when they're telling us a story, we can simply ask them to repeat themselves, or we can act like we don't understand what they're saying by asking silly questions, or act like they're not making any sense. We can also misunderstand them on purpose. For example, when they ask us for a paper, we can get them a pen. The third strategy to teach them a lesson is to confuse them. So the narcissist feels powerful every time they see you react the way that they predicted. So the way to drive them insane is to react in a completely unexpected way. For example, if they are trying to hurt you, if they are trying to cause harm to you, you can show excitement. If they are trying to cause shame, if they are trying to humiliate you, you can show boredom. If they are trying to insult you, make you feel small, by judging you, by criticizing you, you can smile from ear to ear and show delight and show them and tell them, oh, thank you for your helpful advice. Thank you so much. You can seriously mess with their minds like that. So these are the 3 ways we can teach the narcissist a lesson. There are 2 sources of inspiration that you may find helpful when trying to teach the narcissist a lesson. And one of these is the 2007 British TV series Jekyll. In this TV series, it can really show you a picture of what the playful, witty, and spontaneous nature looks like, and how a strongly confident front can give the appearance of power. So another source is the YouTube channel Permission to Exist. particularly the video titled Fun with Your Narcissist, How to Beat Them at Their Own Game and Enjoy It. So you can find the links to these two sources in the description below. And I've also added a scene from Jekyll at the end of this video, so I hope you enjoy that. Thank you for watching, and be sure to comment below if you have any questions. I'm here to help. And feel free to share any stories that you have where you encountered a narcissist, or if you managed to teach them a lesson, or if you've encountered a malignant narcissist where you had to leave and go no contact. Anything at all, I'm here to listen. So I wish you well, and I wish you luck in your journey in finding inner peace and wisdom. Like and subscribe if you find this video helpful. Until we meet again in the next video, where I will control your mind.
Why? Because I told you to!
Was he attacking you?
What's he to you?
Just trying to salve my conscience. While I still have one.
You stay there. Don't move.
Let's see. What do you say? I'll give you 3 goes.
Goes.
With the knife. I'll just stand here and you can give it your best shot 3 times. Then afterwards, once you're done, I'll break your neck.
You what?
Trust me, the neck's good. Quick for you, easy for me. Everybody's happy.
Billy, just go!
That's an option. I'd consider that. Because quite honestly, I'm only in this to fuck your girlfriend. That was 1.
Billy, just leave!
Ooh, I think she wants to be alone with me. Okay, 1 more go. Make it a good one.
Billy, please!